There he is, 41-year-old freestyle skateboarder and community builder from Brandenburg, Germany. He is the store owner of the Never Enough Streetstore, a graffiti artist and host of the European Freestyle Skateboarding Championship, Christian Heise.
Hello, everybody.
You're feeling all right?
Yeah, it's all fine. Also fine at you.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Usually when I think about how I'm introducing my guest, there's some amount of work I need to input beforehand to actually get a rough idea what the episode is going to be about. But in your case, it's like you're doing so much, from community work to having the street store, hosting the European Freestyle Championship, being a team owner for the riders on your team, and the graffiti artists and everything you're doing on the side. I find myself questioning, how the hell are you managing all this?
Yeah, that's like sometimes a good question, and even I asking myself about.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but on the other way, like, we only live once, and better to take your time, right? And that's my motivation for the most things so far, I believe.
Yeah.
And I don't want to waste time, and I want to make good things and positive things, and I want to live that life. Like that's also like when we started Never Enough. The name was based on that philosophy. Like, it's never enough. Yeah, like a bit of that.
You can really tell, because usually having only one project to work on is like enough for one simple mind to go through, but having all these things like piling on top of each other must be like really hard to decide, okay, what is this now focusing on? Like, do you have like a proper schedule? Like, okay, now I'm working on my graffiti jam in Kassel, or now I'm working for the Eurofreestyle, or no, I do everything team-based?
Yeah, that's a lot of things. They are like walking beside the whole year, and sometimes some ideas I need to realize very fast because it's in my head. Or I want to realize them very fast. Some stuff we work like a year on or something, and we need that time to make it work. And yeah, but most in subcultural things, like, some stuff is really related to each other. Like, the graffiti stuff is really close to skateboarding, and the other way, same with like music. And so that's very easy to work together and to work as many projects at the same time for me. Yeah.
Is this like a process that you are sharing ideas with your colleagues, whether it's graffiti or skateboarding, or how are you managing this?
Sometimes I really think about all the stuff we did, and mostly when I take a bath with a beer or something, I really think about how it works, how it was, how we got feedback from all the competitors or the crowd or sponsors. That's an important thing. And I think on the other way, it's also like we're doing events since more than 20 years, yeah. And with some experience and stuff and a good network behind, you know what works or what you can or must improve, or that's it coming from all sides to me. And the biggest challenge maybe is to make it work for everybody.
Yeah, is this like are you willing to take some shortcuts in order to get to this succession, or are you like, okay, I mean, you can't please everybody for sure,
Yeah, right.
But do you find a middle ground based on the stuff you need to? Let's take the Eurofreestyle, for example. Like, okay, we need the sponsoring, and the sponsors want to have more space on the contest area, or the riders want to sit closer to the area, and you need to basically weigh pros and cons from the whole thing, and then you will do it? Or is it something like, okay, I'm more focusing on the sponsor side because they make this event possible? Or how are you balancing or even judging when to pick one over the other?
Yeah, that's you have to find a middle way for everything, because I got some feedbacks this year as well from the contest, and I try to explain the riders as well, like, we have to make it like in this way because there are reasons behind this decision. Yeah. So, and I think they understand it most of the times, but we have to find middle ways for everybody. Like, this year we had like 52 sponsors here, to make them all happy was like a huge challenge for me, and to talk everybody and place to everybody and promote everybody and say thank you for everybody. And it was a hell of work with only the sponsors, and then we had like the biggest amount of riders in Europe ever. There was never ever a freestyle contest before, like big like this. But sometimes I also like try to remember how I skated on contests and what I like and what I don't like. So I think that's maybe a big plus. I'm maybe between, from the riders to the organizers, in the middle with my age and like how I skated and when I skated and what I skated.
Yeah.
So I think that's maybe a key of this. Yeah.
When you started the Eurofreestyle, is this like can you basically walk through me when did the whole idea of the Eurofreestyle started till now?
Yeah, like I came back in 2002 into freestyle skateboarding, and there was only a few contests. Like Paderborn was already there, and Bernhard Kümpel from Mittelwirtz organized a very small garage contest, like 15 riders, 10 people crowd in the winter time. And then we had a big hype in like 2008 and 9 with lots of contests, like in the Netherlands, in England, in Paris, in Canada, in Seattle. Like these years, I skated like 10 or 12 freestyle contests a year.
Wow.
That was pretty cool. But then we had a down. So many people retired or get old, don't organize any more contests. Yeah, so we only had Paderborn. And I feel by myself, like as a pro or whatever it's called, to skate one contest a year make no sense for me. Like there was people like practicing a whole year for one contest. That's like, it's ridiculous. Yeah. And I also felt like if we come together like only one time a year, that's not a progress for the scene or know each other or come together. Yeah. So I waited a year and one more year and one more year. And then and I found out, okay, we need to make something. Yeah, we can't wait for a wonder or whatever, or like a hero who flies out from the sky and help grow the freestyle scene. And I just decide to make a contest. And I always talk to my friends here. I will make a freestyle contest again, but only when I found or will find an indoor location. Yeah, because it's super stressful when you fly into Germany and it rains the whole weekend. Yeah. Like for an example, I helped organizing 2 times the World Championships in Paderborn.
Yeah.
And one year it completely rained out. So there are coming guys from Brazil or the US and whatever, and it rained the whole weekend, and we skated under a tent like it was 10 meters or something square.
Yeah. How do you like I mean, I can imagine I would be like super devastated when people from all around the world come and it starts to rain, and then like only setting up the small tent. How do you compensate, or how do you include these failures? Like, are you like taking it in more like mindfulness, like, okay, more analytical, like, okay, this went wrong and we could do this? Or do you have like a few days where you're like super bummed out and then start to work on it more emotionally? Or
yeah, we were all bummed out for sure, but on the other way, you always have to realize what's important on those contests. I had the chance to see my friends back, like René Shigeto from Brazil was there, for an example, and I was super happy to see him back. Yeah. I mean, there are other skaters who just want to skate the contests definitely and want to place good and stuff like. Yeah. But I was never that guy. I want to place. I joined the contest for being under the top 3 or something. Even I placed on that contest in 3rd place. I think it was funny. I remembered my shoes was complete wet, and I don't have a second pair. And I skated the contest in complete wet shoes and socks, and it was squeezing and super slippery. Yeah,
Damn.
but I placed third at the pros. It was really fun, and yeah, we have to come back to topic, and we have to realize what's important on those come-togethers, and it's not like we can skate a big contest. It's more the come-together, and also we have to learn from those situations. Yeah, like I mean, it was a bummer in 2014, but then I was sure, like, if you make an international contest, it must be happen and it must be possible to realize the contest. So you need an indoor location. That's the fact. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you have like bullet points, like, okay, we can compromise on these things. I don't know, like side things with the creative days, or we can like shorten the runs or whatever. But you have like basically fine bullet points you need to make, like having it to be able indoors, being able to do it actually now with all the COVID restriction and stuff. So being allowed to actually do it, and have runs for the have time for the runs for the competitors. Yeah, I think focusing on what is important and then flashing out everything else is basically I think the most healthy way to actually be able to pull through with the whole event, right?
Yeah. We learned with each year. Like, we learned so much more. Like, and also the staff and crew behind. Like, it's not only me. It's also like the crew behind and people, the volunteers, crew, and everybody learned so much each year. Yeah, like, and I think this year was maybe the best contest we ever run. And also the Eurofreestyle has like a big history before. Like, I run the street contest since 2004 or 3, I think. We always had some street contests here, bigger or smaller, but they also rained out a few times. Yeah, but the Eurofreestyle is a result of a long contest way we organized here or made with the local scene, and it really starts very small. But like, for an example, the broken board skateboard contest we almost won since 20 years. Yeah.
Wow, 20 years, like, imagine, like, yeah. I'm 30 now, so it's like 2/3 of my life. That's like a big time. I mean, besides people retiring in the sports, and sometimes people leave for personal reasons, do you think it's more helpful to like hold on to the people that are like in the scene now and are competing, or is it more important to actually reach out for new people?
I think it's again in the middle. Sorry, but yeah.
No, but you're right.
Yeah, I remembering times when we skated many freestyle contests, and there was always the same 15 guys.
Yeah.
For me, it was boring. Yeah. The same with like the 80s contest clips. It's always the 10 top guys. It's like Mullen, Velinda, Brown, Pierre-André. I mean, and can name all these guys, yeah? So that's not fun. So this year, like, for example, the Eurofreestyle again, there were so many new guys, like Rafael or David or Monica. And it was so fun to see what they bring to the table with their skills and new stuff, and it's refreshing the whole game.
Yeah. Do you feel it's like piece by piece, like bit by bit, every year, like more people coming in? Or do you think there's like, I mean, usually skateboarding is like not only like a seasonal sport, but also like it's dependent on like the whole pop culture in itself. I can remember when I grown up, like in the 90s, there was like every fucking teenage mutant ninja turtle drove a skateboard, or Bart Simpson drove a skateboard, and it's like skateboarding was really present in pop culture. Do you think this is like currently missing, or is it like just people need to focus on the small numbers on the long scale? Like, I mean, having now more competitors than ever is basically a huge healthy sign for that things are going on, right? Continue to grow.
Yeah, like I think freestyle topic is a complete different thing, like general in skateboarding. Like regular street skaters join a contest, know each other a bit, supporting each other as well and stuff. But the freestyle thing really for me, it feels more like just skateboarding.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, especially now, like with all the upcoming small crews, like again, Freestyle Crew, the Freestyle Coven, and Northern Border Souls, so much small crews, like, and they are so much connected and really like lots of good emotions and positive things. And I remember like situations like people was sick or had problems, and I got letters from friends, and Burns got some stuff, and Monica, and
Yeah.
I think Yo-Yo always say we are a freestyle family, and skaters come and go, but family members are forever, right?
Yeah. That's especially I mean you said it like true with like when people fell ill and like the thing with Alex, like he wasn't able to come and then people crowdfunded and it's I think that the I mean sure there's like the public thing like things that are like held very openly, but I also think like stuff that happens more privately in like DMs and stuff, or when you have struggle with your tricks. And I mean, let's face it, skateboarding is not always enjoyable during the process, especially learning new tricks, or if you hurt yourself, or if you aren't able to skate. Like right now, most people can't, and I think those little messages you got from like all over the world, basically, these really show that we are part of like something bigger, and it's yeah. I mean, not everybody's like doing like videos, but I think these small little things like sending small text messages, or this is like what makes the whole difference, and even able to pull through all this, right?
Yeah, right, and it makes it all more available, and for me, like it makes. I started skateboarding because of the spirit, yeah. But I only skated like from '92, like 2 years freestyle. Then I switched to bowls and ramps and stuff, but I lost the spirit in that time, yeah, because skateboarding was so sell out, and the skaters was so cool and was not included and stuff, yeah. So I was really happy to came back in like 2002, 2003 around, back into freestyle, because everybody was open, yeah, and helpful and supporting each other, and so we still have that spirit, like what skateboarding was back in the days, I think, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you think when you now reflect back on the way skateboarding was prior? I mean, there are like a whole like YouTube channels about like skating in the 80s and 90s. I mean, certainly they were on a very technical side of skateboarding, but as you said, maybe it was like a more in closed system. Do you think the skateboarding scene, or even the freestyle scene as itself, is moving in a more healthy direction than other sports are, like currently with all the Olympic stuff, and more like the more what you said, like sell out stuff with Battle at the Barracks and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, because like if you're showing this, if you look back to the skill level on the contest, it was very different, and everybody was supporting each other and clapping hands, and like even you only make a simple wave stand, and you give everybody, and people really support you and enjoy to see you and give your best, yeah. Like I mean, for the example, like Xenia from your crew, like
Yeah.
yeah, she skated really nervous on the first day, yeah, like shaking legs and stuff. And I just go to her on the next day and say, hey, Xenia, relax. They all love you and support you, and nothing can happen, yeah. And the second day, on Sunday, she was so good and solid and enjoyed the party and having fun, and that's all about, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think the freestyle scene still have that spirit, and I love different people when people come together and stuff, like and if you see, we also don't have that age gap. We have a girls contest again since 20 years. That's a really, really important sign, I think. And yeah, like it's really cool to see like people are so different and from so many countries and genders or age or whatever. And that's really, really cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah, I've in preparation for this episode, I read all the interviews you gave online or in different news outlet and stuff. And there was one thing I read with really touched me. It's like you fled from the DDR to West Germany, and you said the first time you was at the World Championship back in the day. You saw like people from competing all over the world for the first time, and you said something along the line of, "This is what I imagined freedom or West Germany in prospect to be." And I wonder if seeing people coming from other parts of Europe now as well, like from Poland or from France, does it feel like similar to the thing you had back then?
Yes, totally. And like we escaped like a half year before the east-west wall was teared down, and so we escaped over the Polish capital city Warsaw. Yeah, and it's so funny. Like 31 years later, I run a contest who some skaters from the Polish capital city joined that contest. It means everything to me, and it was maybe a big, large circle closed again, and I was speechless, like you maybe had seen, and
Yeah.
it was so overwhelming for me, and I still got goosebumps when I think about it. But it's really, really cool to have international guests here, and some years back we also had Nick and Mike here and Josh. It was really, really fun, and I hope they came back soon. And that's what's the best thing is in skateboarding. Like it doesn't matter like where you come from or what. I mean, we are one scene, and that's really, really cool.
Yeah. Continuing on for the next few years, what do you think are like the things that still need improvement for like the contest and the freestyle scene as a whole?
I think it's hard to say because the level this year was so high. Even to me, it was surprising. But we definitely will work on the judges system. This year, we found out the best way will be to make it all by laptops and not paper, because it was so many database and informations. So we will try to work on laptops with the judges. As well, we have to find out ways for. I think when we were this year 62, like maybe next year coming like 70, 80 or something. So we have to find out better times for the riders. I think it was maybe not the best idea to make the amateurs like for 2 minutes. Yeah, I asked many people before the contest, and we also make an Instagram vote and stuff. So it was like 50-50, like 50% of the amateurs want to skate like 2 minutes, but on the other side, 50% want to skate like 1.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I decided for 2 minutes, but it's too long, I think. And with like 70, 80 riders, we need more times. And I mean, it works pretty cool because we have 20 minutes, half hour practice time before each division starts. And usually it works pretty good that only the amateurs skate then when their time is, and the other groups. But it's, like for me, it's also new because usually my voice is destroyed after the weekend.
Yeah.
So this time it was destroyed on Monday on the contest week starts. Yeah. So it was so much work and so much talkings and stuff and and money and efforts, and we need more people to help us too. Like it was really, really cool. Like Burns just came in the week and helped us. Like or Lukas helped with the judges system. Like we really need people that say, I love the contest, I want to help, I'm here, just do it. Yeah, like we need, like everybody in the scene is always talking like we need this and that must be bigger, and we have to take this and blah blah blah, and we just have to make it. We have to come from talkings into makings, and that's the most important things.
I think like I mean basically like overthinking is a huge problem usually when it comes to not only like skateboarding itself but also making like contests and helping out. How do you think is the best way to actually do something? Like, I mean, certainly you have to know what you are able to afford I mean, certainly you as an event host with all the people that need to be paid, or the venue, or everything else that needs to be done. But do you think usually it's easier to focus on little things instead of like big things, or yeah, what do you think is like the proper way to do it?
I think that the most important thing on the start is like just start. Even it's so small, you have to start like every long journey starts with the first step. Yeah, you just have to start at some point. Yeah, like and that's important. Like we started the first Euro freestyle like with very less money and less experience and stuff. And also there was a metal plate in the middle because we don't have the money for new concrete and not the permission and stuff. So, but I had the vision, and now if this year's works, it will be worked the next year's too, and we can improve things, yeah, because sponsorships grows and more riders come, and so I needed that trust and understanding from all the riders and the city too. Like some people here in the city like call me I'm a freak, or like are you crazy? Like yeah. So I say no, yeah, like that was crazy, but. And also the idea from to make the freestyle contest in the industrial museum was really crazy, because I was there for another city date with the government, and the museum boss just told me, "Hey Christian, do you want to make here a freestyle event or skateboarding event? We can skate on some ramps and here and make it crazy." And I thought it was a joke, so I don't. I don't really answer the question, and later, like I asked him again, like 2 weeks later, this was serious or a joke, and he said, "No, just do it." And, yeah, like it's pretty crazy. Like,
yeah. Do you find yourself often, since you're maybe for people listening, you do like a lot of community work, not only like in Brandenburg but in other cities as well, with the graffiti stuff you do in Kassel, for example. Do you often find yourself in a position where you end up meeting people from different stuff, like you said, in the city meeting, or like people in the graffiti scene that happen to be connected in a bigger picture, or is it like most people are like very specific, and you are like cherry picking almost people that you can ask a favor of?
I think you have to be must be the skills to show a vision and also like motivate people for that vision. Yeah. So one of my coworker Christian, the guy who also built the website and stuff, and built with me the skate hall and our new web shop and stuff. He always said like every person in the world has maybe one magical skill, and he always talked to me like and said, "Hey Christian, maybe your skill is to motivate and bring people together." Yeah, and maybe that's a good point. And I love meetings. I love work with people and share ideas. And I mean, when passion and power is behind, I always like to work with those people. Yeah.
I also in preparation for this interview, I talked to some of the people in other parts of your life, and I've talked to Dustin from the color cubes.
Cool.
And he's told me like a really lovely story. Basically, in correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm mistaken, but in Kassel there was like a bit graffiti scene, and they happened to like bump heads with each other and argue a lot about certain things that are happening in the scene, and you ended up like doing a big round table and getting everybody together and see, hey, we want to build culture here, and we want to move on and not fight each other. And I think that's part of your magical skills as well, that you can like bring together people and actually work out quirks. Like I can only imagine how difficult it must be to be in a city and telling them, hey, I want to do this world championship, or I want to do this Euro championship in our small town with like 100 people, and I can only imagine that I can only imagine that this will raise a lot of eyebrows and people giving you that stark look like, hey, dude, you are crazy. You will never be able to pull it off. And I think like you bringing people together and share your vision is like one of your magical powers for sure.
Yeah, I hope so. And yeah, like but communication is the key for everything. Yeah, like most of the time, maybe you know this effect when you met a person once and you don't like him. Maybe a year later, it's your best friend. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you know that feeling.
Yeah, for sure. Like me and Burns are bumping each other every time. Like maybe it's part of like, I mean, you grown up in the rural area as well. You can tell people are like not holding back here. So yeah,
even
but,
with some of the guys in the freestyle scene, I talked before, like, oh my god, like what's that kind of guy? Yeah. But then when we talked and making trips and met each other a few times, like they are my best friends. Like yeah, like communication is always the key, and we have to be in contact, and that's why those contests or come togethers are so important. Yeah, like as yeah, like I mean, that's what only was a decision to make the Eurofreestyle. I don't want to make it one day. I always thought, like, let's make a weekend. We have enough time to skate, hang out, maybe party, drink a beer, eat a pizza, know each other, and all that stuff. Yeah, like we have plans for next year to make it again longer, but we need that time, because I know the feeling when you come to a contest. You be there in the morning, then you practice like 3-4 hours, warm up.
Yeah, it's rushed. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, then you are super nervous. You skate your runs. Then it's over. You are again nervous for the ice ceremony. It's over and everybody leave. Yeah. So, but that's not fun.
Yeah. As you said, like the whole weekend is like super packed, not only with skateboarding but also like the creative days, and I mean, certainly people get together and want to jam out. You elaborating that they are like more, the event may end up being more and more days. Do you think it's possible that we have maybe like another event on a different date, or do you think like those two big events in like Paderborn and the one in Brandenburg are like separated from each other, and that like two are sufficient for right now?
Yeah, like I think we have to also name the World Roundup. Then we have like 3 events. Like that was also a big decision. Like when we founded the Eurofreestyle, like we think about what makes sense for riders to travel all over the world. And usually the World Roundup is in May. Then later Paderborn in the summertime. So we are in the start of fall, end of summer. Yeah, something between like that. And you need like 1 or 2 months between each event. Yeah, like that money people get 3 days, holidays, collect some coins, and all that stuff. Yeah, like I think maybe 4 events is like too much. I'm not sure, but maybe what will be really cool, we'll have like not like a contest, maybe like a jam session workshop weekend will be cool, like with camping and stuff.
Oh, that's a super cool idea.
Yeah, something like this. Like that's like some ideas we have like beside now for next year. We also did like last year a warm-up event for the Eurofreestyle. It was like 12, 13 freestylers, and there was a skate jam and industrial museum. That was really cool. Like it was 1 month before the contest. Yeah, but let's have a freestyle camp or something will be cool, I think.
Yeah, so it's also takes off. Like, I mean, it's still a championship, right? You still want to be out there and perform, and don't just flay around for like 2 minutes. So I think having something a more casually jam orientated or workshops, like here's I don't know, Freestyle Shiva, he can teach you all about hang ten, spacewalks, and here's like other people that have their special abilities. So I think this would be like a more casual setting would be a super lovely idea. If people decide to, okay, I want to be part of this, do you think what is the best way they can like reach you? Is it like just show up or write some stuff and we'll figure something out, or what is like the best way to reach you?
Yeah, like, I think we're really open for everything. Like a good example is like Lukas with the judging system. So we had contact, and I never met him before, and it was a big surprise. It worked, and for me also, like, but we need that brain. Like, he's a super smart guy, a hell of a smart guy. Yeah. So I was really happy he contacted me about that, and he was also surprised a bit. I think I said yes, let's do it. Yeah, and to be honest, like before the contest, we was a bit nervous it works or not. So there was a lot of judges meetings, and we sent papers to the judges to explain them. But it also needs many hours to explain them at the contest and collect points and discuss stuff. And like when you're remembering back, only to collect the points for Saturday, like almost was like 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what people usually are missing. Like especially with live events, there's like a huge thing going before and after. I mean, certainly Germany may be a bit on the most strict like regulation when it comes to events, not only with all the COVID stuff going on, but just in general. Having an event in Germany is like pretty taxing on your time, and I think every little bit counts. If you just if you like decide, okay, I'm more like hands-on type of guy, it's better to be there in person and build up the whole thing. Or if you decide, okay, I'm more like I don't know, if you like into graphics, you can maybe do something for like the website or media stuff. Or I think just giving it a shot, I think is like a good way to actually help the freestyle scene in itself. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the real freestyle. As you said, there are a lot of different contests going on around all over the world, where people can actually make a difference in the whole world, right?
Yeah, it just came to us and or come to us, and we will be happy. And it only will freestyle. That's what I want to say. Like with all that thing and all the contests too. Like freestyle will only grow and will be bigger and better if we put some energy into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and everybody has something to give in and bring on the table. Yeah. Like also the Eurofreestyle was not founded only by me. Like it was a process for me, Mike Osterman and Reese. Yeah. Like because Mike was 2 times in Brandenburg before we won the contest, and we had like work sessions, like super nerdy stuff. Like he was here like for 2 weeks. And we almost only working for 2 weeks, yeah, like making the logo and film the clip. The first clip came out with Reese and Robert as well, and so that was like the first input came from different people, yeah. Like, and unfortunately, Mike can't join the last 2 years, but originally the Eurofreestyle was founded by me, Reese, and Mike Osterman, yeah. So it was also a thing from different ideas for one thing.
I think also you being able to take risks is also a thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you're just doing everything, it's like also with like small things like the episode, the talk we are having right now. If you just wait for everything to be perfect to make the first move, you will never be able to get stuff done. I mean, certainly. So I mean, we are all skateboarders. We learn how to fail, right? I mean, 90% of our skateboarding or our sport is basically failing.
Yeah, right.
Like, and I think it's the most important part in skateboarding to your own technical progress is to learn how to fail in any certain situation.
Yeah.
And I think especially when it comes to big events like this, since you've been traveling all over the world, you know all about it. Not everything will be working out fine. Just traveling in general, from finding a proper space or hotel where you can camp or like sleep over the weekend. Yeah, you usually end up making some adjustments along the way, right?
Yeah, like and we only also like learn when we fail. Yeah, like that's really important to know. Like we have to make those experience, the good and the bad things. Yeah, like we also failed with some stuff, and I mean the Corona times and all the restrictions and guidelines make it much more difficult for us in the past 2 years. But we make it work, and that was like last year. I was super nervous for the contest because it was the only big event in Brandenburg. Like everybody was cancelled, and we was the only one event in this town, and everybody was looking on us. Yeah, like and. But it's a cool. It was a very very cool experience to show the city like the freaky skate scene. Just make it work. Yeah, it was really cool, and I was really proud of it. Like this year we was a bit more relaxed and a good experience from last year. So I think we can fail. Like for me, the personal failure was like it was so much work. I wake up in the morning on Friday, went to the shop with my shorts and shirt. I had to sleep, and the contest starts, and then I realized, oh shit, I still have my sleep clothing on. Yeah.
How are you able to like decompress? Is it like are you like in a high alert mode? Are you like okay, this will be like super taxing on my mind and my body for the next 4 weeks, or are you like doing like really small steps? Okay, now I work on like registration issues. Now I work on my logistics. Now I work on the music or inviting people and stuff. Do you need like are you like decompressing after the whole event, or are you finding like little moments what you can enjoy?
Yeah, it's like a big journey. Like the contest, we already start working on the contest like a month ago to save locations, make some first flyers, talk with sponsors, talk with the city, talk with the judges, all that stuff. And you just have to make your homework, right? So I try to make each month a bit and each week, and but you have to also be clear that around 6 weeks before the contest, you have to be sure like you work every day like 6 to 8 hours on it. Yeah. So the other problem is a bit like I have to leave the stuff in the store a bit beside, and I need to work more on the Eurofreestyle. And yeah, you have to do your homework. You also need like people beside and in your crew that you can give some work to them, and it really works. And yeah, that's also like big trust and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, but when you have and I mean, now we are next year, the 4th year, like, and now we also know how we have to go there and this and how this works. And yeah, like, it's good. Like, but also like the best, craziest moment is always like on the Sunday evening when I'm the last one and closing the hall. Is like everybody's gone. The hall is complete empty. Like it's really, really emotional, and it's over. And like that's maybe the point I got a bit more down. Like
yeah, like probably I can imagine like the stress level is slowly like coming down, and then your body is like actually being able to resolve all this. No? I again in preparation for this interview, I looked some of the publication you did, and there was a really a striking story I've read about when you fled from the DDR to Germany. You said everything around me seemed like a big playground when you were in the embassy in a. I mean, it's probably a quite scary moment, right? For especially for a 9-year-old, like having people like screaming around and like you said, like shuffling, coming in every day and night. I think. Do you think as a kid you learned to work in those high stressful environments? Like, I mean, certainly for the event, or like I can only imagine how scary it must be to open your own store and like seeing the first checks coming in. Like you need to pay your bills, you need to pay for the equipment, and not having like the sales to back everything up. Do you think you learned early to be able to work in those high stressful environments?
Yes, that situation was like to me really a complete new world, and everything changes. And I'm still surprised. My parents or my mom was so strong to make that step. Yeah, and we just make a complete new living in the west of Germany like later. And it's crazy because I lived in the west of Germany half of my life and the other half in the east of Germany. So I know both sides very good. And but good things are always great. I also moved into other cities when I was younger, a bit like from Aalen to Kassel, then back to Brandenburg and stuff, because I want to see more. And Aalen was boring to me at that moment. 5 years later, Kassel was a bit of boring to me. So I came back to Brandenburg. Like we have to be open, and there's so much more into this world. Yeah.
Are you afraid that 5 years from now on Brandenburg will be boring to you?
Yeah, original plan was like to stay here for 3 months. Yeah, but then again, skateboarding was the point. I stay here because I have many good friends here. They still skate, and we have a great skate scene. And I love that city. And with the Eurofreestyle now and all the events and the network beside the store and around the store, it makes it really a good living here. And that's really, really cool to live daily, and meet all the people. And so we have some really good guys here.
Yeah, in 2019, you were quoted in a local TV channel that you may end up moving to Canada. Is this still something that's on your mind, or is it like currently pushed all the way in the back?
Yeah, like I had some ideas, and it was very close, but then COVID came. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, it was this close. So you were really like, okay, I'm now at the verge of moving to Canada, and then the COVID stuff happened, and then you moved on along the way. What makes you thinking about moving to Canada? Is it like the skateboarding thing, or is it just another adventure you want to take since you are used to going all around the world, basically?
Yeah, since except in the COVID years, I was like 1 or 2 times each year in Canada, like with riding for Sky Skates and the connection to Kevin. And I have lots of friends there. Like one of my best friends is Jeff Cole from Sky Skates, and I really miss those guys. And I also learned a lot from them. Like that Sky Skates is like the most truly dedicated skateboarding thing I ever saw or heard, and learned from them. Like they have really good opinions and minds. So we were pretty close, and the idea come more and more into our heads. And but then COVID came, and like but that's also okay. Maybe it's better than like this. Like
you do think it's a sign from a higher sign from above, like basically, Christian, no, your mission here is not finished. You still need to be here. Yeah, there was you were quoted in that magazine as well. There was like the whole thing ended basically with the closing. Maybe he can bring back skateboarding in our town. Do you think you succeeded at that for the last 4 years, basically?
Yes, for sure. Like
one can argue, right, with all the stuff going on. I mean, there certainly is. Beside the freestyle thing happening, there's also a skateboarding scene in Branne as well, right?
Yeah, right. We have like now, like I think from 30 to 50 skaters here, and that's pretty big for like a small town of Brandenburg. And some skate more, some skate less. And like I said before, like we do a lot of contests and workshops over the years, and we also have a roller club, and I run those roller club as a boss for many years. And in the summertime or spring, you always see skater in the city. That's pretty cool for me too. Like it's normal nowadays. And yeah, like I think that's a success. And also like the skateboarding thing with the Eurofreestyle, the city is complete different in that week because people speaking English. All the Romanian army through the city is really funny. Yeah, like
I can imagine. Yeah.
I mean. All you guys don't get the feedback after the contest, but when the contest is over, like so many people come in the shop and tell me it was so cool to see so many cool young kids and guys, and I saw a woman on the skateboard, and like for example, like Stefan placed like last place like last year in the pros, but so many guys came in the shop and say there was one guy, he was like sliding on ice. He had so much. That was my favorite skater. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and like the feedback is really cool for me, and the city is completely different in that week. Yeah. Like everybody is a bit hyped, and unfortunately we don't have really a after show party this year because of the COVID restrictions. But maybe next year again. And yeah, it's really cool, and it makes that city better because it brings more languages, more cultures, more minds and opinions in the city. Yeah, like
you are also quoted in those articles that you want to bring more not only like the skateboard culture, but help out people with like immigration and stuff now being a big part of Germany. And you also had your own story of like being a refugee and being an immigrant. Especially we in the rural area have also like right now a big thing with immigration going on. How do you think your skills, like making all these events and bringing people together, will translate into the work you plan on doing later with refugee work and stuff?
Yeah, we already did lots of things like these in like 2015 to 2018. Even in Potsdam or Berlin or in Brandenburg or Frankfurt Oder or Cottbus, we did many things and projects with refugees and kids with a bad or sad social background. Yeah, like and I think skateboarding or graffiti is a good tool to bring them together. And for me as well, it was like the best thing because the first friends I had in the west of Germany were skaters. Yeah, and it doesn't matter in Ireland if you come from Italy, Turkey, East or West Germany. So we were all friends. Yeah, like that was pretty cool. And yeah, we tried to skate with them, breakdance, pretty, and it's hard to see sometimes all the background stories they have.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking, right?
Yeah, it's super heartbreaking. Like, and I'm remembering stories like skating with kids and say them on the afternoon, see you tomorrow, bye, and I told them like, tell your parents like reach from me, and they said, hey, my parents just died to come here to Germany. Yeah, and that's pretty heavy stuff. And but again, like skateboarding is like a come together for people, and it doesn't matter where you come from or what you are or whatever or how many money. So it's a very very great tool to bring people together. Yeah, and that's what we want to keep on. And we have the next project in 1 month here to make a holiday winter camp for kids, and
that's so cool.
Yeah, that's maybe one reason I don't skate so much by myself the last 3-4 years, because I really enjoy more those projects and making a contest. And I mean, I skated like 25 years each day, like 4 to 8 hours. Yeah, like, and it was so much.
But it shows in your skateboarding. Trust me, I've watched every skateboarding clip there is to watch, and you have some mad pogo shifting stuff going on, and it's a shame that we don't get to see you skating more. Yeah,
that's for me too. Like maybe one goal for next year is to skate more, but also my motivation goes down when all the contest stops.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Like usually I skated like 8 to 10 contests a year, like street and freestyle contest. And when COVID came, it was all over. And I tried to, we need to make something better and to bring I mean, imagine we don't had the Eurofreestyle in the past 3 years.
Yeah.
That was a super bummer for the scene, yeah.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't have started freestyling since Burns wouldn't have been there in Brandenburg, and then I think it's like really for sure it's like the big thing and the event side, but also like the small things one does for his sport, or I can imagine for your graffiti as well. How much do you actually get to do graffiti art now?
To get an idea for you is like I think more people know me from the graffiti background than skateboarding.
Yeah, I've certainly got that impression when I did my research, for sure.
That's funny. Like, I'm remembering like the World Roundup, the last year was there or something, or 2018 or something like that. There was a graffiti contest in front of the hall at the rodeo fair, and I also painted there and won like 500 euros on Saturday afternoon before the final starting on Sunday. Like, it was like, hey, can I paint it? It was super fun. Like, yeah, like. Yeah, but that's also the graffiti thing. When I was young, I painted a lot of in different areas of Germany and Europe and worldwide. But now I'm more into like giving workshops and painting on canvas and doing like projects like with Dustin, for an example. He's very, very cool guy, and the Color Cubes project is so good in Kassel. I really love to. Yeah, it's a tool very similar to skateboarding, because when you are a skater, you show and join and escape your urban life as opposed to skateboard. Maybe the next step is to paint it. Yeah. So skateboarding and graffiti is very close together, and most of the skaters, they are famous today or popular or whatever, they started with skateboarding.
Yeah.
I heard many podcasts and have many good friends. They are really, really known well graffiti artists, but they all started with skateboarding.
What do you think is it about the skateboarding? Is this like, for me personally, it was like the whole moving aspect. Like, you are free to go wherever, and when you are not liking it where you are right now, you can actually use your skateboard to move somewhere else and do something. It's also like the cathartic side effect. Do you think some skills from the skateboarding translate to other arts as well?
Yeah, for sure. Like your character will be formed. Like, as we said before, like if you fail, you have to stay up again. You have to practice your motivation for yourself. You have to being out your ass for yourself. The first step always is to grab your skateboard and go out, yeah, and make something with your life, yeah. Like that's also the kids. We have many kids. Even in the freestyle scene, we have some guys and girls. They were pretty shy and pretty quiet, but with the skateboard in the community, they really grow and progress on their character and social skills. Yeah, that's pretty cool to see. Yeah, like you can imagine. But some moms from competitors sometimes thank me because, hey, it's so good to see my kids growing up like that and being adult and being a good person. And yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like
that's fucking rad, dude.
I have many contact with many parents from competitors and other skaters. Like, it's crazy, but it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
We had like a lot of artists right on accidentally, basically, on the show, like Burns with doing this tattoo stuff. Last episode was with Peter, who does like fine arts, like classical oil painting and stuff. And you are using graffiti. What do you think? Are you able to translate in graffiti what you can't in those other art categories?
Yeah, like it's a reason, because that freestyle skateboarding is very a mix of art and skateboarding, I think, or just call it art and sport, because you have to move your brain to create something on just a flat ground, yeah. And even to the music and the styles, like the freestyle styles are so different nowadays. It's really, really cool to see. Like, people are so creative here. Like, not only the tricks as well, like with clothing, with styles, with like they look like they perform tricks. Yeah, it's so good to see. Like, even that David with his jacket was
yes, the disco ball. Yeah,
it was first I think, oh my god, what's that? But he made it so good. Like,
he made it work.
It was really stoked. Yeah, like everybody. Like, it's really like a good friend of me from the barrier cult in Vancouver once said to me, freestyle skateboarding is the Addams family of skateboarding. Yeah. I know that's really, really good, but it's really in a good way, because we are so different. And I think freestyle skateboarding also came to that 10% of the skateboard scene people who have a heart and mind for art as well. Yeah, like I mean, there's so many. Like also the like Monica when he sketches stuff like a cat or something looks pretty good, and like many talented creative people in the scene. Yeah, like but that's the reason because we are that 10% in the skateboarding scene who is exactly made for that.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, when you're looking at the numbers, like so we are like a niche sport in a niche market in a like niche subculture with niche other abilities like drawing and or media and stuff. So yeah, I mean it's super unlikely that everything like this happens to be around, but I also think like maybe that's the huge upside of social media, where social media nowadays usually is portrayed as something really bad. I mean, look at us. We have like people from all over around working together in unison. So yeah, I think that's like the whole upside of today's media, right?
Yeah, it's all handmade and it's all original and it's all dedicated. Yeah, so I really love the fact freestyle is small. Like all the people always like on the internet or F4 or whatever, they tell, hey man, we need to make that freestyle so big like in the 80s, but it was never that big like it's today. Yeah, and when it came really big, it lost all the spirit and dedication and the family spirit. So I'm happy it will be grow a bit more,
Mm-hmm.
maybe not that big like the street or something. Yeah, like no, I don't want that. Yeah, so I'm happy with that. Like it's now a bit growing. It will be cool, but not burning it out to a sellout. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's a fine line to take for sure. I mean, usually having a bigger audience or like more people doing it and being like a more mainstream, I dare to say, comes with more resources because usually people are putting more money into events and putting more money into gear as well. I mean, you can tell how hard it is to actually get your hands on freestyle gear, no? So I think this would be a upside on the when it would be considered more mainstream, but it for sure will lose the connection we have from
Yeah.
people around the world. I mean, you can see it in in street skateboarding. I mean, people hit up places and skate for like 6 hours along each other without saying hi and goodbye, basically. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
I would hate to have freestyle become something like this. But I think right now, as you said, freestyle is bigger than it ever was. And I think it's moving in a super helpful, healthy direction. And it only, I mean, time will tell if we get more content creators or more competitors or more people that are more doing the community side of things. So yeah, I'm excited for freestyle. To watch freestyle grow and be part of it and try to put my personal stamp on it. You certainly have with your team and with your shop and with the events as well. What do you think will be the next big thing for freestyle?
Yeah. The next big thing is it's hard to say like which it goes in which direction in the next years. I think it will be. We will keep on the hype like 2 or 3 years more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think what you said before, like it's really hard to get sometimes gear because all the prices are super high and material costs, and we are to have an idea like if you produce some freestyle stuff, we have so minimum amounts of products that we are maybe in the line of orders in the last year because all the big brands are bigger, yeah. So, but also on the other side, everything has two sides, a good and a bad side, yeah. The good side is that 90% of the market is still in the hands of freestyle skateboarders, like the Cyrus guys, Tony, for an example, Mike Osterman, yeah. That's pretty cool. Or Skate Kings, or Widder with Decomposed, or Terry Sinnott with Mode. I really like the fact that the industry not is grabbing it all from us. So we can decide from that money we made how many riders we sponsor, how much events we made. That's always the circle we have to understand. That's what I always tell to people and say them, come on, when you buy a deck, please buy it from a freestyle related company. Yeah. So it doesn't make sense to buy an element board or whatever, or almost, or nothing against them. I love that stuff, but they don't care about the scene.
Yeah, I mean, certainly when I'm like asked as a big skateboard producer, I'm certainly more willing to do like 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 of the same deck. I don't have to like don't have to change my production facility or like the machines that are cutting everything. I can just basically pump out huge amount of masses, and I mean certainly having freestyle is every board has different shapes, like different dimensions, different sizes, different coloring, different everything different. So getting production going on for I mean even wheels. I mean people love having different shaped wheels if they do like coconut stuff, or people have more like straighter wheels that are usually a big on the bigger side. So finding something to produce or finding someone that produces our gear is like super essential. I mean, if you decide to buy from non-freestyle categories, you end up with non-freestyle gear since they aren't freestyle. Right. So yeah, I think being mindful, not only like in terms of freestyle and sport, but also, I mean, you are one that did the Kauf and Branne movement. That basically means support your local businesses, and yeah, also buying local from local restaurants and local clothing as well. You don't have to buy your stuff at the next big chain like H&M and all the other clothing companies you have. Yeah, I think if you buy local, you will end up with something that profits you locally, which is super fucking important. Yeah. So yeah, that's certainly a thing.
If you want a colorful, good, nice city with life in, just buy local. Support small businesses, artists, stuff like that. Yeah, like that's super important. Like every decision where we to buy stuff, can be a good or bad decision. Yeah, so we need to understand that. And on the other side, when freestyle died in the early 90s, it died not because freestylers want to die it, the industry want to die it, because the freestyle products were like to 90% in the hand of non-freestylers. So they want to push only street skateboarding because the sales were higher, and they want to sell decks, shredded, next deck, shredded, next deck. Like Richie Carrasco from Skate King just told me once, the tailbone was the biggest enemy of the skateboard industry, because it makes
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's that, and it's completely true. Yeah, so I'm really happy now. Like freestyle is in the hands of some good guys. Even it's very different sometimes, and we also have our discussions and stuff. But
yeah, sure. Yeah. That's in the nature of human beings, right? I mean, show me an industry that isn't like this, right? I mean, it doesn't matter if you're working like in your local retail shop or work in like a finance office or something. It's always people bumping heads. So yeah, I think reaching out to people and put some anger aside and work together will only produce the most healthy thing for everybody included.
Yeah, and we are independent with that. That's really important.
Yeah, independent is a huge thing, right? When you say, okay, we are the product we have isn't serving our sports, we can make those adjustments. But when we can't make those adjustments, our sport will adjust, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. That's the point. Yeah.
Also talking about changing products. This year, Eurofreestyle again, the deck size always gets bigger with competitors having a more longboard approach also. What's your thought on this? Are you more like a purist that's saying like, okay, freestyle is a well-established sport and culture and we need to keep it more along the lines like it was? Or are you more open-minded for other competitors coming in and changing kind of the way the competition is held?
I think the judges also had a very special eye on it this year, and I know some judges don't like it. Some judges say it's okay, but if we remembering back by ourselves, like most of the people started with a street deck or something like Kevin, for example.
Me also as well.
Yeah, because there was no freestyle stuff available around there.
Yeah.
So we have to be open, I think, but it doesn't make sense to show only like street tricks and stuff. But I love the fact that people try to make freestyle tricks on any kind of decks. That's pretty cool to see, and it also changes the sport a bit. And on the other way, we don't have to be so black and white that to say like you have to skate a single kick classic deck or a double kick deck. So if somebody wants to skate on an old school board, let's make him fun, yeah. And so just we have to be open. But the other thing is like I know now like some longboarders already contact me for next year's contest and ask me they will join, but I say hey, it's not a longboard contest, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to find a good middle way again, yeah. Like that's, I mean, like Wolbert was a good example. He really showed freestyle tricks on a smaller longboard, yeah. So it looks really fluid, or really styled, and I love all the hang pans and G-turns, and so we have to find a middle way.
Yeah, I think that's the red thread that it's running through this episode,
Yeah,
and your personal life as well. So we didn't get around it, which is a bit sad, which I prepared for. But seeing now that our interview is already close to an hour, I think this was a nice closing statement for the episode we had. And maybe I have some personal questions prepared for you from other people, and okay. I'm curious to see your reaction.
Hi, Chrissy. I want to say hello, and I have one question for you. You know, our flat is full of Masters of the Universe stuff, little ones and big ones, and my question for you is, when are you going to stop collecting Masters of the Universe?
That's a good question. Yeah, maybe our flat really looks like a museum or whatever from vintage toys, but I'm sure I will not stopping soon. Sorry to say, but I love that shit, and it's like really good 80s stuff, and sorry to say.
Yeah, huge shout out to all the spouses and significant others along the way. Skateboarding is like really time consuming, and actually our partners in having some leeway with us, with our toys, right? With our 4-wheel toys or other hobbies we have on the side.
Yeah.
Thank you for like giving us some leeway with that, right?
Yeah, it's funny. Like Witter from Decompose also collect that stuff, and I think we more talk about like Masters of the Universe than skateboarding at all.
Hi, Christian. I'm a big fan of your All the Small Things video, and the question is, can I expect a new video from you anytime soon? Thanks.
Yeah, that it's funny because that clip was like made in like 4.5 hours, filmed all the footage. I got filmed with Reese like 3 times, but it was only like 4.5 hours. We filmed all the footage for that clip, and yeah, I have plans to make a new one in this winter. I hope Reese can come over for a week again or something, and I also really like it. And Reese was maybe Reese's best clip he cut for me. Like, yeah, like hope I found some time, but I really want to make a second part, and I already have music for it.
That's the if you have like a music track for a good video, it was also for me like this on the last video contest we did for the Terror Firma. that's the first step. You have this idea, and then everything comes together, right?
Yeah, right. You first have the clip in your eyes, and then you say, okay, that's the clip you need, and you can motivate on, and you have the movement from the clip and the speed, and then that makes sense. Yeah, like.
Yeah, cool stuff. I have 2 more clips I wanted to show you.
Okay.
I will try out.
Hey guys, hope you're alright. I have a short question for you, Christian. In the past, you've been on many skate trips, and I thought it would be a cool question to ask. Which one of these trips seemed most important to you from a skateboarding point of view?
Yeah, like he's right. We did many trips, team trips in the past years, and we also had plans. So we make every year we make a big team trip over Europe, and with all the team riders and friends and the photographer and stuff. But with all the COVID stuff, it was not possible. But we definitely have plans for make the next team trip to Warsaw from Berlin, and I hope it will be work next spring. Yeah.
Cool stuff. I'm really curious how this will shake out. I'm super fucking curious.
Yeah, it's like basically it's full week of skateboarding, beer party, lots of fun, lots of nerdy stuff, and but it's sad because all the new team riders like Daniel and Yari and they don't know those trips. Reese came into the team at one of those trips to Luxembourg. So he asked us to write for us, and we asked him, and as he told him like maybe join our trip a week, and we can know each other and stuff. And it was clear at the second day he's in the team.
Yeah, I mean, being around him and meeting him for the first time, I got the same impression like pretty quickly. You can actually, I mean, if it weren't for skateboarding, you just can have him around for having a good time, basically, right?
Yeah. It's super fun, like, because we always have a big van, and I always tell all the team riders don't bring too much stuff because the space is not enough for everybody, and it's very limited, and we have tents and sleeping bags. And so I remember in one year Sebastian Heupel came with like 4 complete boards and 2 spare boards and whatever. I was like, oh my god, like, and only to bring out all the stuff in the evening in the camping place, and to bring in is like 1 more hour, and it's so much fun because sometimes we ended up in some clubs, and we also did a USA trip and Canada trip in 2009 with 11 team riders and friends, and Terry Sinnott was part of the team in that year, and he asked me like on Skype or whatever, hey guys, do you make anything beside drinking beer? Yeah, like,
to which the answer is clearly no.
Yeah, that was really, really fun. Like, yeah, but yeah, those trips are really, really legendary, and I really miss them. But with all the COVID restrictions and stuff, it's super, super hard and difficult for us to realize them. Yeah, but I'm sure, like, I hopefully next spring it will be worth to go to the capital of Poland. Yeah, like. I promised them last year, but it did not work. But there are definitely plans for next, maybe June, May.
Cool. I have one more question from someone we already mentioned today.
Hi Christian, hi again. Now Christian, I have a question for you. When and where you started out Eurofreestyle contest, where did you get an idea to organize the contest?
We got the idea in, I think it was my third year, 2018. We got the idea in 2018, and yeah, that it all started with like that joke in the museum, and ended up in like the biggest contest in the world, I think. But that fits great to us, and yeah, 2018 was the year with Mike and Reese, and that was really cool to see now the result, how it is now. I never imagined we run it like 3 or 4 years in a row. Yeah, like I never had the idea to run it so long, and I'm totally surprised still today. Till today, and it's really, really cool to see it works. And it's always a hard decision to say after the contest make it again, because people have that big goals, and for us too. And it's not only to make it better every year. The first thing to make it the same level like last year, and then we can think on to make it better. Yeah, but it's so much money behind and sponsors and stuff, and my personal life, and so
it's like having a big hit in your music career. Like when you're making like a masterpiece of an album, people are like, okay, when is the next #1 big hit coming, right? You have always like these expectations and pressure behind it to actually deliver.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Yeah,
exactly that. And also, like for me personal, it's so much work and stuff. Like sometimes I broke on it almost, and on the challenges and stuff. Yeah, but sometimes you have to come over those challenges and to get better. And so I think it was the right decision to make it again and again. And I'm really happy, like, to all people like stay behind me or get feedback from the riders. And like maybe the best gift for me was like this year's prize ceremony was maybe one of the most emotional contests I ever joined. Like people cried and like small kids, and but not in a bad way, like in a really good way. And even to say everybody bye after the contest out or from the hall was super emotional to everybody, and because everybody was so happy and or frustrated, or but it was all good emotions, I think, at the end. And it was really, really cool to see. And yeah, I was really, really nervous, so I drink a bit before the prize ceremony. So it's also when this song came, like the final countdown. I every time I have goosebumps. And
that was so right. Sitting on the bench and everybody was yelling the melody and stuff. Yeah, it was really cool.
So Stefan, a friend from mine, who makes now a docu about the contest, like part 1 and 2 is already out.
Yeah, I've saw it.
Yeah, it called 3 days. There are coming 2 more parts, and like I watched 2 days ago the second part, and was really I really realized in that moment like how good it was, and how many I miss all those guys and friends. And like at the end on the contest, like with all that good emotions and things, and love and respect, and come together, all the work, it was worth.
Yeah. One last question. Did you buy a kayak already?
And that was a plan like 2 years ago. I don't buy a kayak yet. I bought a new bicycle for me last year, this summer.
For the trip, right?
Yeah, for the trip. And we did a long bicycle trip. I have plans for next year again for new trips. And it was really, really big fun. And I think it's also important to get sometimes like new interesting and hobbies, and not stuck in the moment. So that was really, really good. And the other thing is like we will move very soon to a new home where we already built a skate hall and stuff, and so a bit out of the city, and but we have more space there, and also the stock will be bigger for Never Enough, and the shipping situation. And
will the store itself be also moved, or will you have like a small like local shop you have, and then the bigger shop in the other facility, or are you moving out of the shopping street altogether?
Yeah, originally the plan was to only make the new facility. It's like a big skate hall with a big stock, and also some rooms to live and stuff, and a big garden and area. And
Skatopia.
It looks like Skatopia, and sometimes we already skate there, and we did some workshops as well there in the fall. And but so many people come to me, and friends, and also business partners, like they told me, hey, you can't close the store in the city. It's not possible. Like even some of the governments say to me like, hey man, it's the coolest shop in town. You can but on the other side, also like with all the Corona lockdowns and stuff, and we were closed so many times. Like the longest time I was here, like 18 weeks at the shop, and the shop is not cheap and it takes money. But with all that feedback and thinking about the pros and contras and stuff, we will move as well in a bit smaller shop. Up the streets, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're keeping like your presence in the city center as well, but have like a proper setup which makes financial sense and logistical sense, and setting up more like skating areas and stuff a bit outside. How far is it from the shop? How far it's gonna be?
It's really funny. It's exactly on the other side from the Industrial Museum over the water.
Yeah, that's smart.
So unfortunately, you can go over the water, but it's when you look from the museum over the water, it's like 500 meters. So to get an idea how far away is it, and yeah, that's. But as well, again, we have to change a bit in that situation and make some new goals. And times are different now, very different, and I think they will be different and difficult the next 3-4 years again.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So it's better we making new points now for us and new goals. And I'm happy we made it. And next month, in middle of May, we move into the new store and the bigger location. I'm already working in the evenings and weekends there, and it really looks cool so far. And last lockdown in the winter, we built up the skate hall there, and all the street skaters love it. And for me as well, it's pretty cool because I live in a space where I can skate at the same time. And the new shop in the city is only open on afternoon, so we will make all the shipments and workshops in the forenoon. And
it's like basic logistics, right? If you spend like commuting between places for like 10 minutes, yet alone that you can't it's certainly a small shop. You can't store, you can't store huge packages after packages, and people need to deliver in and out and stuff. So just makes sense, right?
Yeah, and also we get many boards each year, and we have very cool things coming up next year. And not only boards, even like clothing and wheels and stuff, and parts. And so we need more space, and we need better stocks and bigger stocks. And I think that's a good step. And I love the idea I can also skate every day again. Like I said, I'm here like 6 days a week. And we have on the weekends from April to September, always events on almost every weekend. So it's, I'm really happy we move out there soon, and it's more back to the roots for me and more skateboarding again.
One can truly tell that it's actually never enough. Right?
It's always more. Yeah.
Christian, I think this sums us up very well.
Yeah, right,
Thank you for being on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me as a guest, and thanks to all listeners. And keep on the good work. Again, freestyle, I really love it.
Thank you.
It's a really good thing, and also a greeting to Burns and all the crew members.
Yeah, I certainly will. They are really curious on our podcast, because I've collected some ideas with them as well. So yeah. One last thing, maybe when people are interested in the Never Enough Streetstore or the Eurofreestyle, where can they find you, like social media wise and internet wise?
Yeah, we are on almost everything. We are on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We need to make more on YouTube again, I think. Maybe the best way is to, when you live in Germany, to just come over, grab a coffee with us, have a good afternoon. That's what some of the German freestylers makes from time to time, or like Reese or work here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love always like personal contact, because the city is cool, and especially it's really nice with all the water and skateboards there. So we have good, also the Agentenzentrale, I know. I heard some stories. Yeah, like just one last story. Like I remember, like 2 years ago, like the Tuesday after the Eurofreestyle, Mike Osterman and Nick Ballou joined all the pubs in the city alone because I was so tired, and they ended up in one pub. They drink like almost the whole bar, and the workers there don't want to believe they are from the US. so, so at the end of the night, so they have to spend like 10 euros or something, and they can go. Like that was really funny because next there was like back like 3 in the night, and at 7 in the morning you have to bring them to the airport, and they look so destroyed. That's really fun. Yeah, so many locals here know many freestylers, or they're friends with them already, but I never met them because they they get in contact first at some pubs or parks or on the streets or whatever. Like fun.
That's so funny, dude. Well, Christian, thanks. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bis nächstes Mal.